As you drive down 65 Highway through the small Missouri town of Chillicothe, you can't miss the sprawling beauty that is Simpson Park. Past the first playground is the historic site marker, which tells of the life of Dr. Arthur J. Simpson and how he practically built the park from the ground up. Simpson Park has many different activities going on throughout the year, such as the annual car show, the Chili Bay Water Park, and Chautauqua at the park.
My name is Crystal Narr, and I am the Executive Director of the Chillicothe Area Chamber of Commerce.
How long ago did Chautauqua start?
So Chautauqua in the Park was started, this past year was our 38th year, so we are planning for our 39th year in 2024.
So, do you know why it's in September or around there?
You know, that is a wonderful question because I have never really given thought to its specific timing other than we get asked every single year from vendors who want to be a part of it of when's Chautauqua going to be this year? And we always respond with, it's always the same weekend. The dates just change because it is always the weekend following Labor Day.
So what has to happen to make Chautauqua profitable or a success?
So Chautauqua in the Park has a lot of moving parts to it. Of course, it is very well known for the vendors, which are a critical part of it. We have over 100. This past year, we had more than we've had in the past 10 years that I've been a part of the planning of Chautauqua. And we hope to continue to see that grow. Weather is a big factor in that because people, of course, love to have good weather to be out there since it's an outdoor event. But in addition to that, food is key. We like to have lots of different options, whether that's our multi-food booths, which is kind of our food court area, which is all primarily local nonprofits that are a part of that. Knights of Columbus, Lions Club, Boy Scouts. But then also we do single foods, which gives great opportunity to other area and some for-profit, but primarily nonprofits such as Girl Scouts, Boy Scouts, Lady Hornets basketball team, to name a few, have the opportunity to offer a single food. And a lot of times it's a great fundraiser for them. So then we also add the music component in the kids area and the traditional arts. So there's all these different things that go into play to making it a success.
I'm the Parks Director here for the city of Chillicothe. I've been the Parks Director for 15 years. Started back in 2008. Actually started working in the ball field side of things as athletic facilities coordinator, and then was promoted Parks Director a year later.
What kind of maintenance does Simpson Park require?
Well, Simpson Park, it's 30 acres. It's one of our larger parks, and so we have a vast variety of different things to do here in the park. We've got shelter houses, we have walking trails. We're home to Chili Bay, which is probably in the summertime our most popular attraction here within the park system. And then we have playgrounds and pickleball courts and just a whole lot of different things. So there's anything you can think of requires maintenance. Probably the biggest thing that we have with this 30 acres is mowing. Takes usually about 2 individuals. We can mow in about a day. But we not only have to mow Simpson Park, but we also have 7 other parks that we have to mow. Just under 100 acres of total parks here in our park system in Chillicothe.
How long does it take to put up the Christmas lights? So
the Christmas lights, as far as the start to when they finish to when we actually turn on the lights, the lighting ceremony takes about 2.5 months. The Festival of Lights Committee and their volunteers, they get started on it around September and start checking bulbs, checking displays, going through different things. And we start bringing displays and bringing lights over from another location, usually towards the end of September, first part of October.
How did the Chiefs tree come about?
So the Chiefs tree came about, really it was a couple years ago, and I don't think it really started out as technically the Chiefs tree, so to speak. I think there was a volunteer that wanted to decorate a tree in the park, Chiefs colors, red and gold, and I think it happened the year that they actually lost the Super Bowl to Tampa Bay. But it kind of took off from there. People really enjoyed it. They started calling it the Chiefs tree. And it was something that really just from that moment kind of took off. Of course, the Chiefs made it to the Super Bowl that year. And then the following year, it was one of the first things that they decorated, the display, one of the first displays that they put up. They decorated that Chiefs tree again. And that's kind of where it caught its name from.
So, what are some features of Simpson Park that really stand out?
So a couple things that really, whenever we talk to individuals, especially those individuals that have grown up and either moved away or were younger, is probably the Lion's Head drinking fountain and the rocket ship. Those are two things that are very popular with Simpson Park. And if you ask anybody, you ask your dad, you ask your grandparents and things like that, they probably remember coming to Simpson Park and playing on the rocket ship and drinking out of the Lion's Head fountain. When I took over as director, those were two things that was kind of told to me that, whatever you do, any changes, anything like that, just make sure you keep those two things in the park. And so that.
What's your earliest memory of Simpson Park?
My earliest memory of Simpson Park is when I was a kid, probably 4 or 5 years old, going out to the swimming pool. And the old swimming pool was just absolutely beautiful. I mean, it to me it was, my memories of it. It was this big circle and had a high dive and a low dive. And I remember we could go out there, just in the summertime almost every day. And but yeah, that old swimming pool was just fantastic. I learned how to swim there. Don Chapman taught me how to swim. And he's passed away, but yeah, he was nobody. I took swimming lessons and nobody could work with me, and finally Don, he took over and I learned how. I was a pretty good swimmer. But yeah, that's my earliest memory of Simpson Park.
What changes were made in Simpson Park while you were on the park board?
Well, there were several of them. Of course, the major change was when we remodeled the pool in 1993. We passed a bond issue to do that, and that's when they built Danner Park with that bond issue. Or actually, when a bond issue was a sales tax. We passed a half-cent sales tax that paid for the pool and Danner Park. And anyway, but we put in the pool was redone in the late '60s. They moved the old pool. The old pool was where the tennis courts are now. Now I guess they're pickleball courts.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, where those courts are is where the swimming pool was. And one of the things they used to do at the old swimming pool was they'd flood it with water and you could ice skate there. They did that a couple of seasons. And
that's cool.
It was cool, but it was a nightmare. I don't know. They had a lot of problems doing that. But anyway.
Was there any racial segregation at the park?
Yes, there was, and in the it was in the early '50s. They did not allow blacks in the pool. It was crazy. Just absolutely. In this day and age, it makes absolutely no sense.
Mm-hmm.
But they did back in the. It was, I would say, 53, 54 around in there. That's when they allowed the blacks to use the pool. And but unfortunately, we did have that problem.